I'm here with another book review, and today I am reviewing Chloe Diller by Natalie Cunningham. Oh, Cuddington. Sorry, I don't know how I messed that one up. This is Natalie's second book, and I've read her first one already, and I will leave the review up in the corner for you if you haven't seen it yet. And I must say, I thought this was a lot better than the first one. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, it's a completely different storyline. Like, it's not even close to a similar type of book than the first one. But I really enjoyed this one, and I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. So, Chloe Diller is about a girl named Chloe Diller whose fiancé dies. And that's not a spoiler, because it happens in the very, very beginning of the book. Like, that's how the book starts, is her finding out that he dies, and it's heart-wrenching. So anyway, while she's trying to deal with her fiancé being dead, she starts seeing his ghost, she thinks. She doesn't know if it's his ghost or if it's in her head, but doesn't matter. She's seeing him around the house. It's freaking her out. So she decides that she cannot handle it anymore and she needs to move. So she basically sells her house, she sells basically everything in her house except for the necessity things that she needs, and she moves to Sudbury, where she went to college. And she moves to Sudbury because she didn't know him there, and she thinks that if she's somewhere where she didn't know him, that he's not going to come back and her mind's going to be able to, like, focus on other things and she's not going to see him. But that doesn't happen. He follows her and shows up in her car on her way there, and she almost crashes her car on the highway. And not only is he following her and he's in her new apartment, but now they're talking to each other. So there's that she's dealing with. And then in walks Cohen, the incredibly gorgeous man who lives across the hall from her. And he's so gorgeous, she, like, can't function around him. She forgets how to speak. And he makes her so nervous. And she's like, well, if he makes me forget how to speak, maybe he can help me forget about Sean, her fiancé who's now dead. Which she doesn't want to forget about him, but, like, sometimes she kind of does because it hurts so much to miss him, and it hurts so much that he's, like, his ghost or whatever is there, and she's interacting with him, and she knows it's not making any situation any better. So it's her plan to befriend Cohen and maybe make him her boyfriend so that she can move past the whole Sean thing. Turns out Cohen's gay, so that's not going to happen. She finds out that he's gay after she kind of starts to get to know him a little bit, and it just ends up becoming this huge, annoying kerfuffle, and she starts to fall for him, but he's obviously not going to fall back in love with her, and then she's still seeing her dead fiancé in her apartment, and she's like, what do I do? And so that's what Chloe Diller is about. Okay, so I really enjoyed this, like, from the very first page, and when Sean first dies, like, it like tore my heart out a little bit, and I don't even know Sean. Like, we just met him for us to be told that he's dead, and it was pretty sad. So that was really well done, and it made me want to continue reading it, like, immediately. I didn't want to put it down. I loved Cohen. I loved Cohen so much. He was such a good friend. He was, like, the greatest guy. He was absolutely perfect, and I hated sometimes the way that Chloe treated him. He knew why she was doing it and, like, all the things that she was going through, and he still wanted to be there for her, and he was the sweetest man. I can't. I loved Cohen so very much. He was great. I did like Sean too, but Sean did get really annoying, to be honest. And this is one of my issues with it, was that it did seem a little repetitive. It felt like Sean came back in all the same types of situations, and they both said the same things to each other all the time, and they were having the same conversations every single time Sean showed up. Which, I mean, probably could have happened in real life, especially if the ghost is, like, I don't know, it doesn't have, like, a real memory or something, and maybe the conversations that they're having aren't, like, sticking or something, and she has to keep repeating herself. But she basically was always saying, like, you have to leave, I'm never gonna move on if you keep coming back. And he's all like, but I love you, and she's like, oh my god, I miss you. And it was basically just these things going back and forth all the time. Like, every single time Sean showed up, it was the same thing that was happening. And then she went back and forth with her feelings about Cohen kind of a lot. I feel like it's normal to go back and forth with both the things that were happening, but it could have happened a little less, I think. I think the story would have been a little bit stronger if the back and forth between Cohen and Sean, maybe it was only, like, back and forth and back, instead of, like, back and forth and back and forth And I don't know how many times it went back and forth, but it was a little repetitive. So that was basically my main concern. I really enjoyed it. I wasn't like totally in love with it, and maybe it was the repetitiveness that made me not be able to love it quite so much. But I loved Cohen. I loved Cohen. That is a part of the book that I absolutely adored. And I liked Chloe too, and I liked Chloe's friend Bree a lot. I thought that she was a really great side character. And okay, so there's another thing. So there's this girl in it named Hannah, who's one of her friends from college, who went through a lot in between the time that they graduated from college and now, and she's turned into this total bitch. And I thought it was a little ridiculous at times. Like, I don't think people would actually act like that in real life. I mean, maybe there are, but it was a little ridiculous sometimes. It was good though. I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it. I thought it was a really sweet story, and I really liked the friendship in it between Chloe and Cohen so much. I thought the stuff that they went through together, because even Cohen is going through some personal issues as well, and they like help each other through it without even sometimes realizing that they're helping the other person through their issues, and I really, really liked that about it. And I really liked the messages in it too about how, like, it's okay if you're not always moving forward. It's okay if you have to take a step back in life and look at everything and kind of like process what's going on before you let yourself move forward again, and I really, really liked that about it. All the things that Cohen did were just my favorite. I thought he was ridiculous and sweet and funny and just, ugh, perfect. So that is my review on Chloe Diller by Natalie Cuddingham, Cuddington, and I would recommend it, so pick it up.